Welcome back to The Grind is Real. My name is Gabriel Uribe, your host, and thank you for stopping by and grinding along with us. On today's episode, I really wanted to talk about the ups and downs of being an actor because lately my life has been filled with ups and downs, and it is quite a roller coaster ride, whether it's happening in a single day, over a span of a week, or over a span of a month. And I feel like it's something that people don't really talk about. As the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. For me lately, it certainly has been pouring. But that's okay, because in these times of torrential downpour, I truly believe that it is a time of growth, it is a time of evolution, and it is a time of reassessing the things that are important to you and are not important to you. With that said, I want to start off on a positive note and, just share some of the highlights that have gone on for me professionally. So, in the past few weeks, I have received 2 producer credits, a cinematographer credit, and I have just acted and starred in a short film and a documentary that I had a helping hand in creating. All things that I never thought I would do, honestly. I think a lot of actors and a lot of people feel like they have to put themselves in one box and stay in that box. And for many years, I felt that way about myself, that I can only be an actor, or I can only choose to love one thing. I can't start a podcast, or I can't sing and dance, or hold a camera, or do whatever, because I felt if I did anything else, that means I didn't love the thing that I was doing enough. And what I found in these past few weeks is that not only do I like wearing different hats, it's fun. And in turn, it helped me become a better and more well-rounded creative. I think when you take the time to actually walk in somebody else's shoes or line of work, and it's similar and related, it really can benefit you in a certain way. And so I just want to celebrate those, because I think as human beings, as myself, I am really trying to implement on a daily basis that not telling myself no. That's fine if somebody else tells me no. That's fine. I can take that all day long. But what we should never accept from ourselves is the first person to tell us no should never be us. We should always say yes, not fear rejection. Rejection is part of life. Rejection is just a redirection. It is one door closed leading you to the next door. With that said, I have a perfect example of all these kind of life lessons just coming up to me and, slapping me across the face. And in the moments, sometimes they don't seem like blessings in disguise, but then once you get past it and you're on the other side of it, you see, wow, I had to deal with that so that this could die and this new energy could walk up into my life. And just to give you a little anecdotal experience that I experienced not that long ago, I wanted to join a certain film festival and I wanted to get involved. And I thought I had a friend who was doing that. And it turns out she was not a friend, and she kind of numbed me out of it. She was more than happy to have me come work on as crew. I did not feel like that was an appropriate choice for myself, because I had expressed openly and honestly how much I wanted to be a part of this certain film festival and act in it. I didn't want to be a PA. So what I learned from that is, one, not everybody has your best interests at heart. Two, people are looking out for themselves, which is completely fine. Everybody does it. And three, I needed to experience that, because not only was that door slammed shut on my face, 2 more doors opened for me on the backside of it. One, started in a short film, producer credit, cinematographer credit. Two, created a documentary remotely with people who are not in the same geographical location, producer credit. It felt like such a, I was spinning for a minute, because personally, I never thought that I would ever be in that position because of my own issues with myself, but then it happened. And I was expressing to somebody, it's so weird, because yes, I've always wanted to be like, I wanted to create my own film. I wanted to, direct at one point. I wanted to produce. I wanted to do all this and that. But sometimes, like, it's so hard, at least for myself, it's so hard to turn that into a reality because of my own inner self-worth or value issues that I have with myself. And then it happens, and you're on the other side of it, and you're like, "That's so weird." How things just kind of fall in your lap in the way that they're supposed to. I'm a firm believer in divine timing, and I truly believe when you create that energetic space for yourself, I could have easily been pissed off or scorned or, had a chip on my shoulder about my experience that I had, but I didn't. I chose to pull my big boy pants up and say, okay, that place clearly is not the place for me to go work. So let me go find somewhere that is. And not only did I find one, I found two with very talented, wonderful, amazing, loving and caring and nice people where I fit in and where I belonged. So that was a huge up. It's kind of hard sometimes because I know for myself, especially when these kind of things happen, I tend to feel like I don't know where I'm going. And I think it's very easy to get stuck in the mud and feel like you're lost or things aren't moving for you, or you try so hard to make something happen or push that energy. But I think it's one of those things, it's like a magnet. They repel each other when you're trying to force them too much. And so I really believe you have to just trust in the process and know that when things are coming your way, they will come in the time that they're supposed to and not on our time. Yeah, I think without these kind of ups and downs experiences that we go through in life, we wouldn't gain the perspective that we gain once we go through them. Because thankfully, I had this experience and I was able to trek on forward and not take it as a failure or a door slammed in my face and sit there and cry and lick my wounds, but rather than, okay, this place isn't for me, so I'm going to go find somewhere else that is. And I really believe that there is power in that. And I think it is important that people talk about these kind of moments or these experiences, because I know for myself there was a point in my time where I would have let this get me down despite all despite all the things that I have accomplished in the past. And then on top of that, God forbid your personal life is up in flames in that moment too. There's a point in my life that I would have absolutely just wanted to quit it all and not wanted to show up for myself. And that is, I think, my biggest message on this episode today is don't be that person that tells yourself no. Be that person that tells yourself yes. Because that's all we have on this planet and that's all we can do. And it is powerful. I believe that is very powerful, being a person that tells yourself yes. Because then, so what? People cringe. People are probably going to cringe that I started this podcast. Whatever. If you know me, you know that I don't give two craps about people cringing at me. Go ahead and cringe, because you know what? If I'm on your mind, then I must be doing something right. So, yeah, you just really have to be your own advocate always. And, you know, good example, I am doing a little commercial spot that I just booked, and I am so excited, even though, it's not the world's biggest, global commercial. It is okay. I am happy to be there. But when I received my contract, there were certain things in it that I did not like. And thankfully, I have an agent who I'm able to go for guidance to and stuff like that. And there were things in that contract I did not like. I scratched him out. He told me to scratch him out. I sent it back politely, and they sent it back to me with the revisions that I wanted, that I believed I deserved. And it was like, I can't express to you how powerful, not in that kind of sense, but just how proud I was of myself to have the courage of not just signing my life away for the sake of, well, I don't want to look like I'm being difficult. It's not about being difficult. It's about knowing your worth and knowing how to value yourself in a way that respects yourself and also respects other people. If I wouldn't have done that, I would have been telling myself no. I would have been devaluing myself for the sake of people pleasing and not wanting to seem difficult, or, oh, he's, asking for too much. No, I'm asking for what I believe I deserve. And that's all we can do. Yes, it takes time to get that place, I'm not always perfect at doing that myself. It is definitely a learning process, full transparency, but I think talking about it and being open and honest and just sharing with other people really helps plant those seeds and grow, and it gives you perspective and reflection, and that is always a win in my book. So that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, my name is Gabriel Uribe, and the grind has been real. See you next time.